everybody, it's TR, and today I'm going to talk about building parts guitars, building kit guitars. Not going to talk about building a guitar from scratch because I don't know that I want to get that dirty and into it and put that investment into tools. I think with the tools I have, we're going to take up Sean from Scar My Guitars Challenge, and I ordered me one of those Leo James Tele kits for 85 bucks, and we're going to see where it goes. This is a parts guitar that I built, and you know, everything was already finished. I basically assembled it, and it had a nice set of black tuning machines on it that I'm pretty sure are non-branded Godos. They came off of a Kramer guitar back when Gibson had Music Yo, and they were putting Godo tuners on a lot of those things. And they're super high quality, but I wanted some locking tuners, so I put these Godos on here. So I had myself a set of black tuning machines that work really good. Well, I had to buy a guitar to put on them, right? So I ordered that kit, and we're going to see how that comes out. So for that kit, I have radius blocks my son got me, and I know Sean said his was a 12-inch radius, so very likely the one I get will be a 12. But I need to make sure, because if I need to do any fret leveling and dressing on it, I usually use a beam. The beam I have actually is a special beam you can use with the strings on it called a katana, and the guy that owns the company gave me a freebie because he liked my comments on one of the videos on it, and I'm very grateful to him. His name is David Basoli. Anyways, so I usually use that beam, but I'm thinking I've got radius blocks. I might try that. Well, I don't have any radius gauges, so I thought about ordering, and they're not that expensive on Amazon. You can get cheap ones, but that's if you got Prime. If you don't have Prime, you got to spend 35 bucks to get free shipping. So I thought, well, I can print one out of cardstock on the printer and cut it out really careful with the scissors. And then I remembered I have a 3D printer, and 3D printer has to be calibrated for these angles to be correct, but my 3D printer makes perfect circles. How do I know? Because I make cylindrical parts and I roll them on the table and they don't wobble, they roll perfect. So anyhow, long story short, I made these. I have radius gauges, and if that sucker does need any fret leveling and dressing, I might give the block a try. I have 3 blocks my son got me. I have a 9.5, a 12, and a 14. Common radius for guitars. Anyways, let's talk about this beauty. Do you like this thing? So, what do I have here? Well, starters, this neck is a Mighty Mite neck, and it has an ebony fingerboard. I don't think you can find one of those to buy currently. I know StewMac has some Mighty Mite necks that are blowing out. Maybe Mighty Mite necks aren't a thing anymore. I don't know. It's made in Indonesia, and my understanding is it came from the Court factory. And it's a beauty. It is a Fender-ish profile, but to me, it's just a little bit, yeah, it's a little slimmer than the Made in Mexico. It's a little narrower, width-wise across the fingerboard, and more of a true C, less flat on the back than these. I don't know. Yeah, a little round. I like it. It has been rubbed down with very high grits of paper to make it so that it's like glass on the back. It's not sticky. And as I mentioned, these Godo Magnum Lock tuners I decided to put on it. They cost almost as much as the neck. Back when we bought this Mighty Mite neck, they were, you know, $110, $120 all day long. The ebony one may have been $130, Now they're 150, 160-ish, but StewMac is blowing some out for, 110 to 130 range. So that's the neck. It's got really big frets and the ebony board, and as I said, it's fast, it's smooth. I do have some Graphtec string trees on here. I have this thing blocked. It's not a hardtail bridge, but it's blocked. How many springs in my trem, which is a high mass trem block, by the way, I don't think it matters. How many springs in the trem? One, because there's a giant block of wood behind it. And why the one spring? Well, that's what's connecting my ground from my claw to the bridge. So that's what I like. I don't use trems on these. If I want to use a trem, I'll get out one of my guitars with a Floyd. So anyhow, that's this bridge. It's high quality. It's got the big block. Obviously, we're blacked out here. These pickups came from Guitar Fetish. They're the VEH pickups. Trying to do the play on the EVH, Eddie Van Halen. It's just for to get the brown sound. Anyways, Vintage Extra Hot is what VEH stands for. And some people complained because they didn't sound hot enough for what they wanted. But the V, Vintage Extra Hot, not Modern Hot, Vintage Extra. So anyways, what they come in at is 11.4K and 9.4K for the bridge and neck. That's what I measured them at, and I think that's what they're telling you they are as well on their website. So that's good there. Anyhow, so that's what those are, and I am super happy with them. They're like 35 bucks a piece, and to me, I really like Duncan JB's, and this is like close. JB's actually rated hotter, but I like the way these sound. Let you hear the neck pick out. That's a brown sound to me. Okay, the body. It's also from Guitar Fetish. It's an XGP, which is one of their top end of what they sell. It's very, very pretty and sparkly, but the thing with this is, because of being a less expensive guitar, the body, if I remember right, the specs, it says it's alder. Looks like alder from the inside. Very clean routes. There's bathtub route inside, by the way. There's no paint in any of the routes. It's perfectly clean wood and it's smooth. There's no shards. Speaking of no shards, way nicer and neater than my EVH, which came full of like just leftover crap because they didn't clean it out at the factory. So very clean, very nice. I used to have a different pickup configuration, a more standard Strat. These are full-size pots. I had to do a little bit of dremeling to get this tone pot in, because when I went to the pick guard with the two humbuckers, it was a little tight back here. They got them positioned just a little different. But that's what I wanted. So I went to the two humbuckers, and I got the three-way switch in there. Three-way switch, it's a Fender switch, because they work fine for me. You can get an Oak Griggs or CRL. Fender is essentially the same thing, and a Fender switch will cost you like 10, 11 bucks instead of 25. So it's Fender. The pots, 500K. They're DiMarzio branded. They're CTS. They have brass collar and brass shaft. So you have to have right size knobs to fit on there too. And these are Fender knobs. Blackjack plate. What we didn't have is we didn't find a black neck plate, and I could order one, but I got this cool one on it with the Fender logo, and I've got the silver on the locking tuners, so it kind of goes together. I'm not gonna change out the neck plate to put a black one on. I'm gonna leave it right like it is. Why not? I mean, yeah, I could, but I don't think that's necessary. Would it look cooler with black back there? I don't know, maybe, but nah. So, what's left on this thing. That's pretty much about it, right? And the reason I did these things to it is I like the feel of the neck so much. I've got like 40 guitars, more than 40, but I love playing this thing. So that's what I wanted to show you, and I wanted to let you know, keep your heads up. It's going to be a little bit, because as I said, no prime. I won't be getting the parts for that guitar till next week. I'm not super good at finishing, but I plan to paint the body. I plan to get the frets playing good. I've got some decent parts for it, maybe some surprises. I'm not going to tell you how I'm making it. You'll have to watch and see. But I think it's going to be cool, and it's going to be my kind of guitar.